What Act? Electric Vehicle Tax Credit. Simply put, the Cut Inflation Act includes a point-of-sale tax credit of $7,500 for new electric vehicles and $4,000 for used electric vehicles. The new tax credits replace the old incentive system, which only included $7,500 for new electric vehicles. Which car manufacturers are eligible for the EV tax credit? Now that has signed the bill, there are a few new rules that go into effect immediately that you need to know about first. Most of the new rules won't come into effect until December 31, 2022 and will stay in place until 2032, but now let's talk about what you need to know. Effective immediately, to qualify for the $7,500 tax credit, electric vehicles must be assembled in North America. I know what you're thinking. How the hell am I supposed to know which vehicle is made where? Fortunately, the Biden administration already has a list of 20 qualified electric vehicles ready to go. What's the best EV to buy right now? Honestly, good luck finding something right now. Demand for electric vehicles is very high and inventories are extremely low. Waiting lists are long, and dealerships are branding new EVs like there's no tomorrow. It's a perfect storm for not getting what you want. But if you can afford it, opt for one of the high-end or luxury electric vehicles, like Lucid or Rivian. The two companies are trying to get customers to sign binding written contracts to lock in the current electric vehicle tax credit before new rules complicate matters. After the new year, there will be many more requirements regarding who can apply for the credit and which cars are eligible. What's wrong with these binding written contracts? For example, the Inflation Reduction Act includes a transition rule, whereby any customer with a binding written contract for the purchase of a new electric vehicle before the law comes into force can choose to take the old tax credit, even if the vehicle is returned after the enactment of the bill. Prior to the announcement of these changes, customers interested in purchasing an electric vehicle could deposit money, usually a few $100s, for a refundable deposit on an electric vehicle. But reservations aren't explicitly covered by the bill's language, so automakers are encouraging customers to sign binding contracts to improve their chances of claiming the tax credit. What are the income requirements for the EV tax credit? Should I buy now or wait? If you are rich, now is the time to buy. Currently, there is no income requirement for claiming the credit. But starting January 1st, the credits will be capped at an income level of $150,000 for a single filer and $300,000 for joint filers. If you're rich, now's the time to buy. There will also be limits on electric vehicles eligible for the credit based on their manufacturer's suggested retail price, or MSRP. $55,000 for new cars and $80,000 for pickup trucks, SUVs and vans. But keep in mind that various high-tech options and features cost extra money, and the final price is what counts for credit. But for now and until the end of the year, these price caps do not apply. It actually doesn't seem that confusing. Okay, now is a good time to talk about the other major provision of the climate bill that is giving automakers headaches. Under the new rules, EVs with battery components sourced from foreign entities of concern, such as China, where the vast majority of battery parts and minerals come from, will no longer be eligible for credit tax if put into service after December 31, 2023. If the battery only contains minerals from these countries, it will become ineligible for credit from December 31, 2024. It may still be the case. Experts concede that these new rules are likely to slow electric vehicle sales in the short term. But once the auto industry brings its battery manufacturing and supply chain to North America, which it does now, albeit slowly, then the real benefits of this new tax credit will really be felt. Experts admit these new rules are likely to slow electric vehicle sales in the short term. Think of the cap of 200,000 vehicles, for example. Ford was expected to reach this limit any day, triggering the phase-out. In fact, most automakers had to hit the cap sooner or later. But from January 1st, the cap is gone and many more EVs that were previously ineligible for the credit will qualify again. Automakers and government regulators are still working out the details. There is some hope automakers could seek waivers from the requirements given the precedent that has allowed many manufacturers to avoid Buy America rules that were enacted as part of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. from last year, but some automakers are taking steps to bring these mining operations to the United States. GM, for example, recently struck a deal to source lithium, a key ingredient for electric vehicle batteries, from geothermal deposits in California's Salton Sea geothermal field.